what keeps happening in relationships and with different people on the planet. And this is why things don't work out, not just for us, but for other people that we want to have compassion or empathy for. So everybody has been trained backwards. And so the outcome is that when in a relationship, there will be one or both parties with a cheater mentality. That doesn't mean that they're going to cheat. However, that means that they thrive, they get an adrenaline rush, they get energy off of doing something behind their partner's back, whether it's spending money, eating food that they know they shouldn't eat, being with friends or people that they know they shouldn't be with. This is the kind of person that it's not that they want to cheat, it's that because of the backwards mentality of society, that's what ends up happening because their instincts have been turned off. In order to get inside of a car and go down the highway, your instincts had to be turned off in order to get in that car. Your primitive instincts. People that get car sick, that means your instincts are on like a puppy dog. And so, what I noticed is that these people with the cheater mentality, what happened was that I became their drug of choice. And in this, it'll never work with that person. Because eventually, you're either going to let them down, you're going to upset them and tell them something they don't want to hear, that they're not, they have not been taught how to emotionally regulate. Therefore, if you don't tell them what they want to hear, they become an emotional toddler and don't know how to process that because they've been told what they wanted to hear their entire life. Thus, sometimes it's the oldest child that gets this because the mom just wants to turn off the chaos that's happening in the energy flow. And so thus you have the older sibling or the one that this has been done to, they're a narcissist, not by choice, but by design. The system has designed this into the mentality of society. So if you find out that someone else is your drug of choice or that you are their drug of choice, you have an addiction problem. And it's not the person that you're addicted to, it's the cycle that you're in that you're addicted to. And so how we break cycles, we rip the Band-Aid off and walk away. Cut ties, cut the energy that you have passing between you two. And it's sad, but it's unfortunate, but what can you do? There's only one way to retrain society, and that is a new pack mentality of things where we're all on the same team. We might be a part of someone else's pack, but that doesn't make anyone less than. It just means you're a part of a different pack. And so you have rival packs. We don't even have to do that anymore. This is where things have gotten way off track. And I'm going to guess this started in the Tartarian era. When somebody got jealous, it became the Cain and Abel scenario where somebody got jealous, hijacked the script, made it all about them, made the other party guilty of some sort, demonized them, and now you have the stories that's being spun today. And when in fact, none of them are true. None of them are true. What you think happened, the opposite actually is what happened. And that's because the narcissist mentality in their mind, that is how it happened. But we have psychologists feeding people, feeding their mind with the dysfunction that they actually do not have. ADHD, you have trauma brain, plus you have a multi-thread thought process. If you are a computer, you have 16 threads happening at one time. And because the rest of the world doesn't function that way, you don't know what to do with it. What I did was I plugged my brain, instead of into drama and dysfunction, I plugged it into psychology, philosophy, the math of things, quantum physics, higher thought processes instead of the normal, typical human processes. And so this retrains the brain. Anything dramatic, I don't even want to have anything to do with that. People going around being gossips, trying to start drama, trying to play on my emotions, trying to milk sympathy from me. I don't have that to give. I have had some terrible things happen to me. If I cannot afford to feel sorry for myself, I cannot afford to feel sorry for somebody else. By feeling bad for them, you then carry that for them on an emotional, energetic level. Energy alchemy, you are carrying that for them. So if someone else is a terrible parent and you feel bad for their kids, what you do, like energy alchemy, you are alleviating that parent of the guilt that they should have been feeling the whole time. And so you have to stop having feelings about that. That is hard to do in the world today. So you retrain yourself to think of something else. Because feeling bad for that child alleviates their parent of the guilt that they're supposed to feel. Yes, bad things have to happen in order for them to feel guilty. And most times they don't even feel guilty. They feel bad that they got caught. But this is where their child becomes the change. Their child is typically going to do things the opposite, or they replay what the parent played out. It becomes generational trauma, generational curses in these simple little things that we think are nothing. Because but only recently are people being educated on any of these topics. So as an empath, you've been told to carry that spiritual torch for other people. You've been brain trained to do this. And this is where you have to let that go. It does not belong to you. That energy of feeling bad, guilt, or shame does not belong to you. It belongs to the person carrying the dysfunction. Otherwise, you make trauma-bound choices that basically start to infect your atmosphere. Ask me how I know. I have done said things. In feeling bad for other people, it basically made me feel bad about other things in my life when I actually should be feeling good. So if you find yourself feeling bad about somebody else's choices, the only thing you can do is feel good about your own. That's all. That's your options. Feel better about your own choices, or come through and find out, are you making those same choices? Because 9 times out of 10, if you spot it, you got it. It is mirroring somewhere in your life. And so in order to transmute that energy and return it to sender, you have to reflect, think on that, and then refract that back. Send it back. Understand and recognize, validate that is not yours to carry. Send the energy back to sender where it belongs. And this is the return to sender. Reflect, transmute, return.